For the first time as Kamen Rider V3, Shiro Kazami appeared as the main character of the 1973-74 series of the same name, portrayed by Hiroshi Miyauchi. After witnessing his family being killed by the evil organization Destron, Shiro asks Ichiyo and Nigo to transform him into a cyborg so he can fight Destron and avenge his family. Mortally wounded and beginning a new life as a cyborg, V3 uses his enhanced abilities throughout the series to battle Destron's monstrous villains, expose the organization's various divisions, and, especially together with Ichiyo, Nigo, and Riderman, work to prevent Destron from taking over the world. V3 appeared for the second time in the same year in his own film, Kamen Rider V3 vs. Destron Mutants, and of course, he was again portrayed by Hiroshi Miyauchi. In the film, Shiro is fighting villains who are after an extremely dangerous radioactive element called Satanium, and they are willing to take the life of scientist Tetsuo Okita just to obtain it. Although Shiro manages to save him, Tetsuo still dies, but before passing away, he reveals that his sister knows the location of the element. Realizing that the enemy has already begun moving, Shiro immediately takes action. At Kochi Castle, V3 encounters both the enemy and the Double Riders, and together with his old allies, he enters the battle, ultimately ending the film in victory. Hiroshi Miyauchi's character, Shiro Kazami, appeared in episodes 27, 28, 33, and 34 of the 1974 series Kamen Rider X, helping X-Rider in his fight against the Government of Darkness, also known as God. Throughout these various adventures, Shiro, together with X-Rider and later Nigo, fought their enemies as always, supporting X and strengthening their alliance. V3 appears again in the same year in the film Five Riders vs. Kingdark, once more portrayed by Hiroshi Miyauchi. After learning that the cyborgs created by the organization Government of Darkness are causing danger in Japan, V3 arrives together with the other riders to help X-Rider. There, they battle various monsters and confront Government of Darkness, trying to thwart Kingdark's plans. V3 made his first appearance in a non-Japanese film thanks to the 1975 Thai film Hanuman and the Five Kamen Riders. Although this film was an unofficial production not approved by Toei and was created by Chou Productions, V3 appears alongside Ichiyo, Nigo, Riderman, and X-Rider. In the story, they encounter Hanuman, a Thai hero, and form an alliance with him. V3 fights together with the other riders to stop Kingdark's plans, bravely battling the monsters they face in the process. When the riders lose consciousness, Hanuman appears to help them, refusing to leave them alone in the struggle. With Hanuman's support and the combined strength of the other riders, V3 ultimately defeats Kingdark and removes the threat he created. As a result, an alliance is formed between the Kamen Riders and Hanuman. V3 appeared in 1975 in episodes 35, 37, and 39 of the Kamen Rider Stronger series, The Man Who Returned, The Name is V3, Riders Captured, Long Live Delzer, and Goodbye, The Glorious Seven Riders. In these episodes, Shiro rescued Stronger from difficult situations, became his ally, resolved his conflict with Riderman, and, with the help of the other riders, defeated his enemies, bringing the series to its finale. V3 reappeared in 1976 in the film All Together, Seven Kamen Riders, and he was once again portrayed by Hiroshi Miyauchi. In this special, we see two versions of V3. The first is an actor wearing the V3 costume, whom we see on stage when Tobi Tachibana brings the children to watch the Kamen Rider show. The second is the real V3, who joins forces with the other 6 riders to fight Great General Darkness and his subordinates, ultimately defeating them all. V3 appeared only in a photograph in the 1978 Super Sentai crossover film J.A.K.Q Dengekitai vs. Gorenger. In a brief scene of the film, it is mentioned that he was fighting the Iron Mask Army in Europe. V3 appeared only in the flashback scenes of Immortal Kamen Rider Special, which was created in 1979 to introduce Skyrider. In this non-canon TV special, when Tobi Tachibana is telling a group of children about past Kamen Riders and reaches V3, the events that happened to him in Kamen Rider V3 vs. Destron Mutants, along with footage taken from that film, are shown as flashbacks. Shiro Kazami, also known as V3, appeared in the 1980 series Kamen Rider, which is better known for Skyrider. He was voiced by Hiroshi Miyauchi in episodes 23, 34, and 35, and by Ben Shimada in episodes 27, 28, and 54. Shiro assists Hiroshi Tsukuba in his battle against Neo-Shocker, forming an alliance with him, as he does with the other riders. However, V3, along with the other riders, tells that for Skyrider to fight Neo-Shocker more effectively, he must undergo their training and become stronger. Agreeing to this, Hiroshi submits to the training methods of V3 and the other riders, combining their strengths within himself and achieving his power-up form. Despite his newfound strength, V3 and the others do not leave Skyrider to face the great leader of Neo-Shocker alone. They sacrifice themselves together to help stop him. In 1980, V3 returned to the screen thanks to the film Kamen Rider, 8 Riders vs. GingaOh, where he was naturally portrayed by Hiroshi Miyauchi. Shiro Kazami, alongside the other members of the 7 legendary riders, came to assist Skyrider and fought valiantly against the second-generation cyborg Corps. Acting directly with Skyrider and X-Rider, he helped rescue the captives, resolved all the problems, and afterward, together with the other riders, they mounted their motorcycles and set off on a journey together. In the 1981 film Kamen Rider Super 1 the movie, V3 is one of the first 8 Kamen Riders who come to assist Super 1, joining the resistance against the Dogma Revenge Corps and Dogma Fighters, ultimately defeating them. He is the only rider in this film who is voiced by his original actor, Hiroshi Miyauchi. V3 reappeared before viewers in the 1984 film Birth of the 10th, Kamen Riders All Together. Portrayed once again by his original actor, Hiroshi Miyauchi, V3 joins the other 8 riders to defeat the enemy, the Badan Empire, faced by the newly emerged rider, Z-Cross. Together they support Z-Cross and make him feel that they will stand by his side whenever he needs them. V3 appeared in Kamen Rider Black RX, which aired between 1988 to 89, from episode 41 to 47. Voiced by Tori Rentaru, V3 once again shows up, just like in other films or series, together with other veteran riders from the Showa era to help the new rider. They fight alongside RX against his enemies, and they acknowledge him as a fellow member of the Kamen Riders. The animated V3 first appeared in 1993 in Kamen Rider SD, Strange, Man-Spider, voiced by Ryoichi Tanaka. As a member of the Mechanic Riders, V3 comes alongside X-Rider and Super 1 to assist the Battle Riders in fighting enemies. Always ready to help, V3 ultimately gets to the girl RX loves before he does, and takes her onto his motorcycle, riding off with her along the coast. V3 appeared in 2006 in the first and fourth episodes of the 35th Masked Rider Anniversary Files series, titled Rider Kicks and Riders Everywhere. Correspondingly, in these episodes, which aired at the end of episodes 23 and 26 of Kamen Rider Kabuto series, V3's footage from past projects was shown on screen. This alternative version of Shiro Kazami appears on screen for the first and last time in 2007 thanks to the film Kamen Rider the Next, where he is portrayed by Kazuki Kato. Shiro Kazami, appearing as the former president of the company X Extreme, is transformed into a cyborg by nanobots created by Shocker and is one of the 2 surviving test subjects enhanced under the codename Hopper version 3. The power he gains gradually corrupts him, leading him to ignore the condition of his sister Chiharu. However, after receiving a psychic message from Chiharu, Shiro realizes he must stop Shocker. Despite initial fear, he is inspired by the struggle of the Double Riders and becomes Kamen Rider V3. Nevertheless, even though he defeats the forces of Chainsaw Lizard, he is ambushed by a mutated Chiharu and, to end her suffering, is forced to kill his own sister with the V3 punch. Shiro Kazami, as V3, appeared in the 2009 film Kamen Rider Decade, All Riders vs. Dai-Shocker, where he was voiced by Hirofumi Tanaka. At the beginning of the film, V3 confronts Decade, D-End, and Kyuga, together with Super 1 and Black, engaging in a brief clash with them and fighting effectively. However, as the story progresses, he and his allies are defeated by Decade. Despite this, he later reappears at the end of the film alongside the other riders to help Decade and his allies, taking part in the final battle. After the fight, we see him returning again to the place he came from. V3 appears in both the first and last part of episode 12, Bang, Showa Rider Field Day, from the web series Kamen Rider Decade, All Riders Super Spin-Off. In this episode, while the 6 Showa-era riders are competing, he outruns all of them and proves himself worthy of taking first place. V3 appeared only as a toy in the 2010 anime, specifically in the second episode of the third season of Kamen Rider Imagin anime, which is overall the 24th episode titled Imagin in Wonderland. V3 appeared in 4 different episodes of the 2011 web series All Riders, Let's Go Kamen Riders, Let's Look, Only Your 48 Riders, where he was voiced by Yasunori Matsumoto. He makes brief appearances at the end of episodes such as Type 1, The Bride of the Child of the Sun, Type 23, Ice Pop, The Dragon Allocates Pace, and Type 29, Get It, The Stone of the King, but has a main role in Type 12, Quietly Listen, Secret of the 26 Secrets, where he tries to reveal his 26 secrets to the Shocker combat men, but things do not go as he intended. V3 reappeared in the 2011 film All Riders, Let's Go Kamen Riders, and in this film he was once again voiced by Hiroshi Miyauchi due to Kamen Rider's 40th anniversary. He appears here with the other riders in a small role, arriving to help the film's main riders, completing his own brief solo scene as well as a background appearance during the final battle. V3 reappears in the next 2011 film Kamen Rider Fourze and Movie War Mega Max, once again voiced by Hirofumi Tanaka. At the beginning of the movie, V3 is operating on the Mediterranean islands, fighting Kuzuyamis alongside Riderman. Later he reappears at the end of the film when and Fourze summon the 7 legendary Kamen Riders using metals and switches. Here, after mainly battling the Claydol Dopant, he ultimately destroys her once and for all. V3 is one of the 7 legendary riders who appeared in the 2012 film Kamen Rider Super Sentai, Superhero Taisen, and confronted Captain Marvelous. After Marvelous transforms into Ninja Red, he and the others are easily defeated by him. In addition to appearing at the beginning of the film, he also appeared in the final scene of the film, standing side by side together with all the Rider and Sentai members. Shiro Kazami aka V3 is one of the many heroes who appear in the 2013 film Kamen Rider Super Sentai Space Sheriff, Superhero Tyson Z as a cameo to help the film's main heroes. V3, also known as V-San, appeared in a total of 9 episodes of the 2013 web series Kamen Rider Wizard in Magica Land, where he was voiced by Hirofumi Tanaka. Appearing in episodes 1, 7, 8, 13, 14, 15, 19, and 20 of the web series, V3 acts as a detective who investigates various problems, tries to neutralize bomb threats, and works together with others to find solutions to different situations. In episode 3, which is dedicated specifically to him, titled V3's Ongoing Stakeout, he opens up to Haruto, explaining his purpose and why he continues to work as a detective. V3 reappeared in 2014 in the film Heisei Rider vs. Showa Rider, Kamen Rider Taisen featuring Super Sentai, where he was voiced by Tomokazu Seki. In the film, V3 appears in several different scenes. He fights alongside Ichiyo and Nigo against their common enemy, confronts the Heisei Riders together with the other Showa Riders, and even stands side by side with them when facing a shared threat. Although he primarily clashes with Kiva, Joker, and Double, V3, like the other Showa Riders, eventually shakes hands with the Heisei Riders, putting an end to the tension between them. V3 made only a cameo appearance in Reshisentai ToQger vs. Kamen Rider Gaim Spring Vacation Combining Special, the second 2014 film. Voiced by Tomokazu Seki, V3 appears together with Ichiyo and Nigo, arriving to help the ToQgers in their battle against Kamen Rider 15. V3 appeared as one of the primary riders in the 2015 film Superhero Taisen Grand Prix, Kamen Rider Sango, and in this film he was once again voiced by Tomokazu Seki. Emerging in a brainwashed state, V3 initially resisted Sengoh and Drive together with Riderman, and was also forcibly used on the enemy side alongside other riders who were in a similar condition. Later, after breaking free from enemy control and returning to where he truly belonged, V3 fought against the enemy, defeating evil forces, primarily the Weather Dopant, and achieved victory. V3 is one of the characters featured in the 2017 film Kamen Rider Super Sentai, Chou Superhero Taisen. He was a member of Team Insect, which was defeated by Team Card in the very first round of the tournament organized in the game world. V3 appeared only as a cameo in the latest Kamen Rider Super Sentai crossover movie, Saber, Zenkaiger, Superhero Senki. He is seen fighting together with other Kamen Riders and Red Sentai Rangers. V3 is one of the clone riders featured in the 2021 film Kamen Rider Beyond Generations. It was never used in the film itself and only seen on George's tablet. V3 only appeared on a rider card in a brief scene of Episode 4, The Mad Flow of Time and Zane's Identity, which is considered the fifth episode of Kamen Rider Outsiders, released between 2022 and 2024. V3 appeared in episodes 3 and 4 of the 2024 series Kamen Rider, Reiwa's Gorgeous Sports Day, titled Cross-Generational Kamen Rider Relay Race and Gav vs. Gotchard. In episode 3, V3, as a member of the Showa rider team, joins forces with Amazon and Ichiyo to achieve victory over the Heisei and Reiwa rider teams. In episode 4, he appears only in the ending credits, dancing together with the other riders. For the last time, Kamen Rider V3 most recently appeared in the currently ongoing series ToQger Wants to Be a Kamen Rider, which has so far aired only 8 episodes. In this series, we see 2 different versions of V3. The first is Shiro Kazami's V3, who so far has appeared only in episodes 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8, either as an imagination sequence, a toy, or through footage taken from the original V3 series. The second is the V3 that Ichiyo Shimamura transforms into, who has been part of the series starting from episode 3. Voiced by Kenichi Suzumura and Natsumi Fujiwara in Japanese, and by Chris Hackney in English, Ichiyo is an adult who grew up loving V3 since childhood, to the point that he even fought his own brother physically for the V3 title, and eventually achieved that dream, calling himself V3. Here we see him as a member of the newly formed Kamen Rider team, finally battling the real shocker monsters he always dreamed of. What are your thoughts on Ichiyo Shimamura's version of V3? Do you think he will be able to prove himself as the true successor to the original V3 in this series? You can share your opinions with me and with other V3 fans to create a great discussion atmosphere. That's all for today. See you in the next video. Goodbye for now.